Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Pitch Talk.
We are fans of football dropping vlogs, blogs, videos and podcasts on the beautiful game.
Check out our videos on YouTube and Instagram's IGTV,
including special feature segments, vlogs such as
5 Minutes with the G,
The Straight Shooting View,
Coaching with JBK,
audio on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Podomatic, Spotify,
Mixcloud
and other podcast platforms.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook,
and our official website www.pitch-talk.com.
The pitch is where we eat,
the pitch is where we sleep,
and the pitch is where we talk.
I can see you now. I can see you now and then. I can see you now.
Welcome to
Coaching with JBK. Welcome, it's yours truly JBK with a bumper edition of the results that have happened over the past couple of weekends. Yes, we're talking about the Women's Super League, the Women's Championship, and also the FA Cup. Not necessarily in that order, but we're going to get right to it with all the results. So I'm going to go through all the results that have happened over the past couple of weekends. Just speaking on that, there was a lot of transfers in the January transfer window where a lot of players were coming in. A lot of players were leaving as well. A lot of good dual signings, along with a lot of international star signings that have come into the WSL. So let's see how that really makes a difference to everybody. We'll start off with the results that really came from the FA Cup. First one that I'll be talking about, West Bromwich Albion 4, Exeter City 2. We also had Tottenham Hotspur 1, Leicester City 3, Bridgewater United 0, Manchester United 2, Billericay Town 3, Coventry United 5. This really went to penalties. Didn't even go to penalties. I suggest it was more that it went down to the last. It really went down to the last. All of this was difficult in the last few, but you know what? Coventry United running out winners in extra time. Billericay Town really showing that they've got the mettle to really push for a position, maybe in the Championship. You never know. You never know. They could make it up as far as that. We move on to our next results, so I'm going to go through as many as possible. Liverpool 6, Lincoln City 0, Newcastle United 0, Ipswich Town 1. Ipswich, who have played Manchester City in the past, getting a win against Newcastle United away. Plymouth Argyle 0, Charlton Athletic 6, Huddersfield Town 0, Everton 4. And I've been reminded of a goal that was scored, an overhead kick. What a goal. You definitely need to see it if you get a chance. Birmingham City 2, Sunderland 1. Good timing for Birmingham City to get a win this season. It's been a tricky season for them. You never know, they could be facing Sunderland next season in the Championship. You never know. Sheffield United 1, West Ham United 4. For Sheffield United to even get a goal is really good. So well done to Sheffield United, and I'm not putting them down. I just think for a team that has really built themselves up through it, and for an established West Ham United side in the WSL, this is a good result for Sheffield United, in my opinion. It shows that they can still compete at the top level regardless of what the end score was. Durham 3, Blackburn Rovers 1, Brighton Hove Albion 2, Reading 3, Southampton 1, Bristol City 0, Arsenal 1, London City Lionesses 0, and it goes back to my conversation about Sheffield United and West Ham. London City Lionesses playing in the Championship, and the fact that you've got Arsenal, who are top of the WSL, and they've only put one goal against the championship side. Well done to London City Lionesses. Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 3, Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 8. Now, in this, there was a significant goals. There was something that was conceded by this time. So we look at this and we say that there was a significance in how many goals were scored. It was a new record given. So Caroline Weir scored the first goal in 2 minutes. It took them another 32 minutes, another 30 minutes on top to get the next one. Bunny Shaw scoring, Angel Dahl scoring just before half time. Stanway with a goal in the first 5 minutes of the second half. Hemp with another goal on 53 minutes. Bunny Shaw getting her goal in the 69th minute. Stanway with a goal not only then in the 71st, but also in the 92nd. Well done to Stanway with, well, 3 goals. 3 goals, a hat-trick in that round. Unfortunate for Forest, but Manchester City go through. Brilliant results. Really gets people really fired up for the next round coming up because, wow, there's going to be some interesting ties that are coming forward. So for the next round, which is the 26th of February and the 27th of February, we have Chelsea against Leicester City, Liverpool against Arsenal, Ipswich Town against Southampton, Manchester United against Manchester City, Reading against West Ham United, West Bromwich Albion against Coventry United, Durham against Birmingham City, Charlton Athletic against Everton. So that is the next round of the Women's FA Cup. On top of that, we also had a game on that weekend. In the Women's Championship, and I will round that up also. That game was Crystal Palace 3, Lewis 1. So, means that Crystal Palace get another 3 points over Lewis. Baptiste with the first goal, well, Hazard with the first goal in the 29th minute, and then Baptiste with the goal in the 62nd before Wilson got her goal in the 71st, and Haynes with a penalty in the 96th minute, with a red card coming just before that. Well done to Palace, and we'll move on as we do straight into WSL fixtures. So this weekend, on the 6th of February, there were some big games. But before I get to that, there were some games during the week that we need to talk about as well. There were some games during the week. So the first game that I'm going to talk about is Chelsea 2, West Ham United 0. This is significant because next week is also big. Beth England with the first goal in the 51st minute, and then Erin Cuthbert with the second in the 82nd minute. Now that is big, considering the next game that's coming through was Arsenal versus Brighton. Now this one almost saw a shock. Literally Wednesday into Thursday, we almost saw a shock with this one. Kai Visto scoring in the 15th minute for Brighton. What a time to get the goal. And then we move on, and then it was a 5-minute double salvo for Arsenal with Miedemar scoring in the 55th minute, and Beth Mead scoring in the 60th with a beauty of a free kick. Beauty. Brighton couldn't reply after that, but when I move on, I'm going to tell you why why the Chelsea result was significant. Because as of this weekend, the big results that come through will be, and I'm going to start off with Aston Villa 1, West Ham United 2. In that game, we saw a penalty being scored. We also saw a lot of yellow cards being given out to West Ham. Stringer with the first goal in the 12th minute. Leckman with a goal against the former side in the 42nd minute. And then the final goal scored by Svitkova in the 52nd minute. Now, that's towards the bottom of the table, but it's still significant in terms of results, because the last thing you want to see is a team go down. However, one team has to go down. We move on. Spurs 4, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. I will be getting to that Chelsea result in a minute. Don't go away. So, Spurs 4, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Simon with the first goal in the 12th minute. No goal was scored until the second half when Neville got her goal in the 57th minute, Zadorsky with a goal in the 62nd minute, and then Simon with her second and the final goal of Spurs' 4 in the 63rd minute. Brighton really need to make sure that they're not conceding goals as fast as they did in that game, and hopefully they'll start climbing up the table with results like they did against Chelsea. So we move on. The other games coming through to your sound waves. Birmingham City 1, Leicester City 2. Also a big result towards the bottom half of the table. Ramsey getting sent off, the goalkeeper being sent off in the 26th minute, where Sigsworth basically was put away the spot kick in the 29th minute. So you think that's all that is going to happen, but Perfield 6 minutes before half-time decides to try something nice from a corner, gets the goal, and it's from the closest of angles. Shouldn't have gone in, but it has. Means that Birmingham City concede 2 against Leicester, who are their closest rivals in the relegation battle, and they've lost both games to Leicester City. So the time that they needed to take points, they didn't. Louise Quinn with the consolation goal in the 85th minute. Leicester City really proving that they can possibly do the impossible and stay up above Birmingham City. You never know. This could be a really good one for Leicester in their first season in the WSL. Everton 1, Reading 2. So Reading have also lost their manager this week after 10 games. That's big. After 10 games, he's gone. Jean-Luc Vasseur, he has gone. And we'll talk about that in a separate vlog. Anvegard got the first goal in the 5th minute, and then Dowie with a goal back in the 74th before Primer got a goal in the 88th. Brilliant goals, especially one that was outside the box from Natasha Dowie. She really showing that she's still got the real good touch, the touch of a goal scorer. Going in, putting that goal away. And it puts Reading in a good position to possibly finish in the top 5. You never know. They could finish in a Champions League spot if they continue this run. We move on, and we really are motoring through these ones because our next game is Chelsea 1, Manchester City 0. Now, the reason why I've gone the opposite direction with all of this is because the Saturday game is just as important. So Chelsea managing to get a goal in the 14th minute, where the ball was headed in windy conditions from across into the back of the net from Brighton. Big game. Man City are really coming back into their own, and they're really still pushing with a lot of players not necessarily in the right areas of the pitch that they want them to be. So we're talking about not having Steph out and not having a full goalkeeping union in the game. Also having to change Greenwood and Stokes again. And this is always going to be the question is how long will this take? Will they continue to get better? Or will they have to wait for certain players to still come back in order to get the results that they really need? It was one where both teams needed to win, and ironically, it was the team in second place, Chelsea, getting the win. Which really brings me on to the final game of the weekend. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Now, this game started off like the Conti Cup did. Manchester United getting the first goal, and unfortunately they couldn't get a second because they even had a chance before Arsenal even got theirs. where it could have changed everything, and it would have meant that Manchester United would have taken all 3 points, but they weren't able to do it. Russo with the goal in the 10th minute had a massive chance before Arsenal scored, where Katie McCabe got sent off just before Vivian Miedema found a beauty. When I say a beauty of a pass, it was, I don't know how to explain it, but it was one of those passes that, how did you split the defense and find a person with a pass like that? How? But she did. Blackstenius gets her first goal for the club after a Vivian Miedema pass. And it's just ironic that Vivian Miedema is the one that plays the pass to show her brilliance, her absolute brilliance, not only for Arsenal, but for the Women's Super League in England. She has been a shining light, not just for Arsenal, but for women's football all over. And she's shown it once more. Well done. What a goal. But the reason why it's a big, massive game is for this specific reason. Come next weekend, this weekend, I should say, we will even know whether Arsenal can hang on to first place or if they will lose it come Friday, the 11th of February. At 7:45, a kickoff will be determined between Chelsea and Arsenal. Wow. So where the two teams were playing Manchester clubs last weekend just gone, they now face each other. And here's the ironic part about this. Those two Manchester clubs now face each other in the same weekend. We are talking some big games here, some massive games. Chelsea against Arsenal on the Friday. On top of that, Manchester City against Manchester United on the 13th of February. Everton against Aston Villa. Leicester City against West Ham United. Brighton and Hove Albion against Reading. Birmingham City against Spurs. So some big, massive games coming through here. And you're going to be looking forward to seeing every single one of them, because there's going to be something in the waters for every single one of those games. So be prepared, because this is really where the fun begins, not just at the top of the table, also in the middle and at the bottom. There's some big games all the way through. Okay, so now we've done that, why don't we look at what happened this week, or this weekend, just gone, with the Women's Championship. How about that? So, we move into it. Bristol City 4, Crystal Palace 0. Despite that result against Lewes, Palace couldn't follow it up with a win against Bristol City. Ball with a goal in the 1st minute, Harrison with a goal in the 15th minute, and then Palmer with a goal in the 54th minute before Harrison gets a goal in the 82nd to finish it all off. Well done to Bristol City. Hopefully this doesn't hamper Palace's run in the league. We move on and we go to the next results, which will be Sunderland 2, Sheffield United 2. Big game here. Definitely mid-table. But based on what they had to offer in the FA Cup, something that you would say, well done to both teams. Joyce with a goal in the 10th minute, Sweetman Kirk with the equaliser, Manders with a goal in the 66th, and then Sweetman Kirk with the equaliser again. Unfortunately, neither team could find a winner, and that's how they stayed. Well done to both teams on getting the results. Sweetman Kirk, well done on getting the double to make sure that Sunderland do not lose. That's the best part about that. So, moving on. Liverpool 3, Coventry United 0. Another game here for Liverpool to edge closer to returning to the WSL. Hines with a goal in the 13th minute. Kiernan with 2 just before half-time, which pretty much ended the game for them. So they had nothing else to worry about, and they finished it all up as best as possible. Well done to Liverpool. Coventry United, keep battling. The fact that you battled through everything that you have means that this is not over. Hopefully there will be a run of results that give you a chance, gives you the biggest chance in the world at survival. We move on. And the result that we are looking for, is now Charlton Athletic 3, Watford 0. Tough one for Watford, especially when they've actually replaced their manager. And I've talked him up already, the replacement in Gifton Noel Williams. Hopefully he can start getting the results that he deserves or he needs in this side. And there will be enough of them to really push forward through the table. Roche with the goal in the 8th minute. Salola with 2 goals just before half-time in the 33rd and 40th minute. The game pretty much sewn up before half-time. But you can also look at that and say, well, in that result, for both Coventry United and Watford, they didn't technically lose the second half. They might have lost it in the first, but they didn't technically lose in the second. We move on to another game, and before we do that, Blackburn Rovers and Lewis was postponed. Reason not given, unfortunately. But we move on to London City Lionesses 1, Durham 2. Wow, Durham 2. So Rouse with a goal in the 13th minute. Iartes with a goal with an own goal in the 47th minute before Heppel got her goal 3 minutes later. And for 40 minutes, it was an interesting one because you're holding on for about 40 minutes, but you're also making sure that you're trying to put your own chances away as well. So, well done to Durham. And that is a defining roundup. The bumper roundup of the Women's FA Cup, also the WSL and the Championship. I'm going to add one in for everybody's enjoyment. So, for the enjoyment of the Conti Cup, the Continental Cup, we had Manchester City taking on Tottenham Hotspurs and Chelsea taking on Manchester United. The first game was on Wednesday, the 2nd of February, between Chelsea and Manchester United. That finished Chelsea 3, Manchester United 1. First goal was scored in the 26th minute. Pernilla Harder with the first goal for Chelsea. Jess Fleming with the goal in the 39th minute. Risa with a reply a minute later before Jess Carter finished it off in the 39th minute. Bagley got herself sent off for Manchester United in the 77th minute. But by then, game, set and match. It does mean that for Manchester United, they got as far as they could in the semi-final. But that run ends there. Well done to Manchester United. Congratulations, Chelsea. You're in the final. Thursday, the 3rd of February. Manchester City 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. What a game this was. And when you think back to the start of the season when the second game in, Tottenham got a 2-1 win over Manchester City, you look at this and you go, well, we did what we had to do just to reverse that decision. So all 3 goals weren't shared. They were now scored by one team. Park with a goal in the 21st minute. Bunny Shaw with a goal in the 27th before Lauren Hemp finished it off in the 71st minute. Well done to Manchester City. Well done to Chelsea. Commiserations to Spurs and United. But this final is going to be massive. So here's what's going to happen in that final. It will be Chelsea. It will be Manchester City in South West London. A big game coming up. And that will be on the 5th of March at 7:45. I believe a lot of people are going to be looking forward to that game. Chelsea, well, sorry, not 7:45, 5:15. Almost got that wrong. Well, I did get it wrong. Nice correction there. Nice correction there, JBK. Well done. Well done. But no, listen. We've got that game sewn up. It's going to be a massive game because it's the first essential final of the new era between Chelsea and Manchester City. It'll be a game that they are looking forward to because this could be silverware that they continue with and try to build upon with this new look Man City side. Can they stop the Chelsea empire? If not, it will be an interesting one. It's a big, massive game going on down in Southwest London. If you can get yourself a ticket, by all means. Yesterday's game between Chelsea and Man City saw a record crowd at Kings Meadow of just over 3,000. And you never know, it could be another sold-out stadium for the final. By all means, get it done. Get it done. You never know, it could be a big, massive game, and you hope that everybody is looking forward to it. Who do you think will win? That's the question. Between Chelsea and Arsenal, between Manchester City and Manchester United, who do you think will win? This is going to be a big weekend to really start thinking about what the final standings in the position in the table will look like. Yours truly is signing off with the last of this vlog. JBK is out. I'm heading out. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, from the FA Cup to the Conti Cup to the Championship and to the WSL. Not necessarily in that order, as you know, but guess what? We are just doing things our way, the Pitch Talk way. Find ourselves on Spotify, Verbal, Podomatic, Podcast, YouTube. We're really just out there trying to make a noise for ourselves and for the people. So, please take a note and hopefully you'll get involved. Yours truly, JBK signing off. Peace!
Join the Pitch Talk revolution.
Check out the official Pitch Talk website.
www.pitch-talk.com